Let me start by saying happy birthday, Carolina. Happy birthday. You know, I've been trying for nearly 30 years to become a real Carolina person, and maybe the fact that you've invited me today to deliver this speech will help convince all of you. My husband, Bob Eves, is a Carolina alum. My two sons are Carolina alums. My two stepchildren are Carolina alums. But yet at Thanksgiving, I continue to hear that I'm nothing better than a Florida Gator. So will you please help me rectify that terrible situation? President Bill Friday and President Molly Broad, we are honored by your presence here today and by your leadership of this great university system. President Erskine Bowles, I'm glad that the Chancellor corrected you, because I was going to go home and call Crandall and say that she wasn't nearly as good as Holden Thorpe, and that would have cost you a really nice Christmas present. Bob Winston, thank you for agreeing to chair the Board of Trustees. Faculty Chairwoman Coble, for the leadership you provide in these very challenging times for the members of this faculty who have stood tall. My hat is off to you. Even during challenging budget negotiations, you continue to support the state and support this greater university. And for that, I, as a simple citizen of North Carolina, am deeply grateful, as are the students and the alums of this great university. All of the alum, especially these winners today, congratulations. Let's give them another round of applause. And as an aside, I have to say I'm tremendously excited that there is one newspaper leader still in America who isn't driven by the bottom line. Congratulations to that. And to all of this Carolina community, I actually see from the stage many students in the audience, and we are very delighted that you are here, because all of you together, the corporate group known as Carolina, whether current or past, or whether, as I am, an adopted stepchild of this wonderful school, you're what makes Carolina the place that we all know and love, and that we will continue to know and love from generation to generation. If you look around the world, you'll find no other university like Carolina, the nation's first public university. And that's not the reason we are unique. Let me remind you that no university except Carolina has risen to world-class status by deciding early on that one of the primary missions of this university was to get down closer to the needs of the people this university serves. No state but North Carolina has risen up so far and overcome so many obstacles to economic and social issues as has this state. We simply put our hope for the future squarely upon Carolina and the public university system, especially here, because you have always been a legacy of North Carolina known as the University of the People. The University of the People. If you will think with me about Carolina's legacy of service as an entity, it is woven into the fabric of this great state's soul. The course of our history and the direction of our future has been determined by this university. So as we're gathered here today to celebrate that legacy of service, we're also here to reaffirm it and to say there's so much more yet to do. Throughout our history, Carolina has answered the call to service by enriching the economy, the society, and the democracy, by improving the lives of our people, and by educating North Carolina's future leaders. Walk with me through history. In the early 20th century, the university started and expanded programs in education, social science, the arts, business, public health, and government. Many in the country were amazed. Those programs were initiated, if you read the history, to address critical needs here in North Carolina. That was the reason they were created. And now, through any standard, they are among some of the best in the world. We did what was right for our people, and thus we created progress. In the 50s, this university joined with other universities to form a public-private partnership that created the Research Triangle Park. Now, North Carolina as a state is recognized around the globe for research and innovation, and thus the face of North Carolina's economy has changed forevermore. In 2003, this university established the Carolina Covenant to help low-income students get a world-class education without debt. Now, across America, the Carolina Covenant stands as an example to all colleges and universities across America. And most importantly, the university has nurtured leaders that have led North Carolina and America's march forward. Howard Odom. Mr. Odom exposed poverty and inequality in the South. Those who have followed him year after year have sparked social change and informed policymaking on critical issues because of the work he did here on this campus. Henry Fry, a great living North Carolinian, fought for civil rights day after day and year after year, and he went on to become the first African-American Supreme Court justice in North Carolina's history. President Bill Friday, who is with us today, defended free speech from the speaker band. And today, year after year, President Friday will stand up for education and opportunity for all of us, not just for a select few. You look at others, Charles Kuralt, Paul Green, the work they did as pioneers in journalism and the arts. You think about a man like Albert Coates, who founded the first Institute of Government in tough times when nobody understood what an institute of government could be. For decades, counties and cities have been better off because of the work at that center. So throughout the years, they and countless others have shared their knowledge with people everywhere in this state, in this country, and around the globe. Carolina scientists have broken new ground with research and innovation in science and healthcare. Look to Dr. Oliver Smithies if you want to find a current Nobel Prize winner. And of course, if you think about the university, you have to think about last year and Roy's boys doing it again, leading that basketball team to yet another national championship. All parts of the legacy and the fabric of these people and this institution. Accomplishments made here at this university have changed the world, quite simply, and we are all forever better because of them. But today, at the dawn of a new century, this state, our people, our country, and yes, the world, face a whole new set of daunting challenges. Our state, the old North State, is still feeling the impact of a global recession. Everyone has been affected, including those of you who teach on this faculty and the students and the families across North Carolina. For the short term, let me assure you that North Carolina is making progress. My goal and the goal of the leadership of this state and of this greater university system is to be sure that as the recession ends, North Carolina is poised for global economic recovery. That's our job. But for the long term, I believe as a state we have to reset state government to better serve the people of North Carolina as we as an entity adapt to a global 21st century. We in North Carolina must build an economy that attracts businesses from around the world, that supports small business, and that turns innovative ideas into jobs and economic development. I believe that we must make a career promise to our children so that regardless of their backgrounds, every child, everywhere in North Carolina, not just somewhere in North Carolina, but in all 100 counties, can get the skills they need to succeed anywhere in the world. That's the standard. We also must find ways to protect our environment and make the best use of this state's natural resources, because simply what's good for our environment is also good for the economy. The 21st century is convincing us of that. And we have to continue to focus on making government, the state of North Carolina, more efficient, transparent, and accountable to the people who call North Carolina home. Already, this great university is helping the state meet these challenges. Last summer, I worked with a group of skilled young students from this campus as they traveled all across the state and helped communities with no resources apply for the federal recovery dollars. And now some of those students, though they are still students on this campus, continue their work with economic recovery in our state's highest unemployment communities. So the message from you all is permeating the student body here. Service is important. Leaders at this university have focused on efficiency and effectiveness, performing a broad study and putting it into action. You tackled the challenges, you made public the results, and you're now implementing change. As a governor, I believe that's exactly what we have to do for the state of North Carolina. Carolina recently built a global education center because we on this campus understand that education in the 21st century must be global. It is no longer about this one state or even about our country. It's about the world. Experts on this campus continue to work with me in paving a way for a real green future in North Carolina and creating thousands of new green jobs in a state that is transforming as we speak. And you look at the researchers on this great campus. Look at the secrets that are being unlocked to curing major diseases as we celebrate this birthday of this university. Think about that team of scientists who decoded the entire HIV genome for the first time. That happened here on this campus. Look to Dr. Joe DeSimone, who has those tremendously important nanotech innovations that combat diseases that affect us all, like cancer and Parkinson's, going on this campus. Or last month, think with me about what it meant when this university opened North Carolina's very first public cancer hospital. The people own that hospital. That hospital, and many of you, will spearhead the treatment and disease and research that touches all of us in North Carolina and America. Every one of those accomplishments, if you think about them corporately or individually, embodies what I believe has become Carolina's legacy of service to the people of this state. So on behalf of the 9.5 million of us who call North Carolina home, I commend this university for the work that continues here. But let me remind you, as we look to the future, although we celebrate the marvelous achievements of the faculty and the people from this university, I must remind us all that Carolina's mission is about so much more than what happens here on this campus. It's about touching generations of people across North Carolina and around the world who will never, ever, ever set foot on these beloved grounds. Carolina's role has been and must be to shine its guiding light into all corners of North Carolina, around this country, and around the globe. Purely and simply, that is the definition of 21st century responsibility for North Carolina, the People's University. In 1919, the University of North Carolina President Henry Chase declared, "The next great chapter in the history of this nation will be written here in the South, and there must be an institution to serve and guide this new civilization." His dream was for Carolina to answer that call, and Carolina stepped up and did. And now, 90 years later, we are in a new century with new challenges. The next great chapter of our state's history will be written at a global level. And we in North Carolina, once again, need the service of this great university. We need your ability to create change and progress through knowledge and innovation. That is the way, that is the solution for lifting this entire state and positioning North Carolina to lead America and the world. For guidance, we need only look in our history, a history unlike any other in the world. The original premise of this storied university was that the greatness of a state and the greatness of her people would be propelled by knowledge, by teaching, research, and service. North Carolinians believed that this one university, owned by the people, could change not only the present, but the future of our destiny, the destiny of a state and a country, and now a world. Those simple ideas are the provenance, the essence of Carolina, the People's University, our priceless gem. Let the people see Carolina's radiance shine. Let them hark the sound of Tar Heel voices, and let our light and our voices and the voices of this greater university guide us all into the future. Thank you.